Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Togepi, who is a very, very cute little Pokemon. I did have it pulled up before, but my whole computer, I just had to restart it. So yeah, it is a fairy type. It is 87.5% male, and it's like a little, imagine if like a marshmallow with a spiky top was inside of an egg with some fun red and blue shapes on it. That's kind of what this little Pokemon looks like, and it is, yeah, just so small and so cute, and I don't know, it feels like one of the Pokemon, like, it feels like if you ran a Pokemon nursery, you would see this one, because it is a little baby in a little egg. So I thought, why not make a nursery of some sort? I really hadn't picked anything until I started building, and I decided to go with a, well, yeah, like a home nursery. Like, this is a family and they've set up the room for an infant, and I think it's pretty cute. So there are 5 townhouses here, so it is a little townhouse area, but I only decided to do one of the townhouses because I only needed to do one to do the, what do you call it, like the nursery. So yeah, if you end up downloading this build, there are 4 other places that are completely empty. If you have for rent, you can turn these into residential rentals. If you do not have for rent, then you can just lock the doors of the other houses and just have it look like there are other Sims living here or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, it's a pretty cute lot. I really enjoy it. I ended up doing the middle lot, which is actually, the middle townhouse, which is actually 6 tiles wide. The rest of them are 5 tiles wide. And yeah, I don't know, I had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how to get this to look the way I wanted it to, because there was an inspo photo, and I was trying to stick close to the inspo photo, but not be identical to it. So yeah, I definitely played around with it for a little bit, had some fun with it, but also, yeah, had a few minor issues, wasn't really sure what I was doing. But then again, I never really am, and I feel like, I don't know, like, some people, when you see them build, you're like, wow, like, they're making so many decisions that make so much sense, and like, they're just smashing it out. Whereas I can't do it. And yeah, that's why I want to show off, like, okay, yeah, I didn't do something fantastic and great and you know, perfect straight off the bat. I kind of just figured it out and made it up as I went along, and yeah, I hope it helps you guys feel better if you guys are unsure of your building, because same, constantly same. I never know what I'm doing, and I'm constantly making it up and going back and forward on my decisions. So yeah, I hope that makes you feel somewhat better, because I know for me, when I see other people struggling, I don't want to say, like, when I see other people struggling it's a good thing, but it makes me feel less alone in my struggles with these builds. Like I said, like, I do struggle, I do, you know, I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do, what I want to put here and there. I have these ideas and then they don't work, and I try and force them to work, and I have to work around that, and it's just this whole thing. So yeah, I don't know, it's definitely curious and interesting, that's for sure. It's definitely something that, I don't know, it's, I find it to be encouraging when I know I'm not alone, but I also don't want other people to feel bad, you know. I don't want other people to be like, oh, well, I'm struggling and, you know, no one else is, you know. I don't want to struggle, but I will share my struggles when I do struggle, so that you guys are not alone. Yeah, I do spend quite a long time outside the build trying to make the outside work. I also really for some reason struggled with the front. I don't know, like, sometimes setting up like these little front scenes, I really struggle with it, and I don't know why. Like, I see other people doing it and it looks just fantastic, it looks amazing, like, you'll just put it together and it looks phenomenal. Whereas yeah, I feel like I put these together and it just looks meh. Like, it's okay, it's not great, but I think that's just because I haven't explored this sort of thing enough. I know with, yeah, certain styles of build, I'm really confident in some areas of it, not confident in others. So for example, townhouses, I'm somewhat comfortable with making them somewhat different, somewhat unique and interesting. I definitely think this build could use a little bit more something to it to make it look a bit more fun and interesting, but yeah, I did not do that. So yeah, we're kind of stuck a little bit with sort of this plain exterior, but I kind of like it being this plain exterior. So yeah, you will see me going back and forth 1,000 times at the front trying to make things work, and then I end up hating everything that I've done, and yeah, I just constantly go back and forward. But yeah, I don't know, it's just like, do I want to worry about these things? Are these things important to me? Are they not? And yeah, in the end I decide I hate everything that I've done, so I change it back. So don't worry, if you think right now it looks stupid, which I do change it back. Do not worry, because yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, sometimes when you're building, you just really struggle, and or at least I do. I really struggle, and I don't know why it's so difficult. Because other days I will start building and it will just be so super easy. But I think it's just one of those things where, like, if you're having a good build day, you're having a good build day. And if you're having a bad build day, you're just having a bad build day. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope that you all get blessed with good build days. I'm hoping to have some good build days today. But to be honest, every day, but yeah, especially today. I'm hoping to get a couple of builds done. Because I do not stream today, and that means I can hopefully do lots and lots of building. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping to get at least 2 builds done today, if not play around with a third. I don't know, I really do love building, but sometimes when I open the build, I just don't know where to start. I don't know what to start with, I don't know how to start. I just get really stuck. And I'm really hoping today is not that sort of day, you know? I will also be hanging out with some friends in a call where we're supposed to be co-working together, but every time we do, we end up talking about anything and everything and doing everything to not co-work. 50% of the time it's good, and we can do some good co-working, and if I tell them, like, hey, if I'm not working, please yell at me, they will. But if I don't tell them that, they won't. So that's kind of on me, you know. But yeah, look, there's quite a few builds I need to get done. I have a collab. Actually, I have 2 collabs. One I'm running, one I'm in. And then I have the A to Z challenge, which I'm trying to get started early, which I did. I've officially started the first build. Started but not finished. It's gonna be a very long build for sure. But I'm hoping sort of this week, next week, I can work on at least 4 of the builds and get at least 2 of them done, hopefully. There's no promises, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, basically for you guys, I hope you have wonderful, fantastic, amazing, focused build sessions if you build, and if you don't build, then whatever you do in Sims or whatever games you do play, I wish the most focused, productive session for you today as well. Also, you might have noticed I put in these, outside I put in these brick stairs, but they don't have a matching brick pattern unless I'm blind, unless I did not see it. Yeah, they don't have a matching brick pattern, which, what? It's a base game stair, it should have a base game brick to go with it. I'm so very confused. So yeah, if you are somebody who has figured out what the correct brick is, please, if you could let me know, that would be greatly appreciated, because what do you mean there's a brick stair and not a matching brick? I don't know. It just really confuses me. But yeah, we're kind of actually moving on to the inside of the house now. Like I said, I did spend quite a long time outside. And yeah, when I moved inside initially, I was actually going to have this nursery be really dark, so I found this really gorgeous nursery photo that was in an attic space. So it was, well, I don't know if it was an attic space, but like the roof looked like it was the attic room, and this, like the ceiling bit was this really beautiful wood paneling, and then there was a really dark deep green on the wall, and then yeah, there was it's this beautiful dark wood crib and a matching dresser sort of thing with it. And then it had a rug very similar to the one I've just placed down. It's not quite the same, but it was very, very, very similar to that. So I really wanted to try and recreate it as best as possible, but then I thought the outside of the build is really light, so wouldn't the inside of the build also be really light? So I did kind of pivot and adjust a little bit, so only the master bedroom has some dark colours to it. The rest of the house is fairly bright. There is a home office, but I think I ended up going with like a black and white sort of colour scheme. Maybe not necessarily black and white per se, but that room is a little bit dark as well. But the bathroom and the kitchen and the dining room, the kitchen and dining room is one room, and the lounge room, they're all a little bit lighter. And I kind of really love the family that I invented here. So there is a couple who live here. The mum works from home, so she has the office on the top floor. The dad is a stay-at-home dad. He is also an artist, so he does sell his art for a bit of money from time to time on the side. You know, it does pretty well with the art, and she does pretty well with whatever her job is. And yeah, they've got a little baby. Like they're a brand spanking new family. It's very young. It's a very young family. I don't know. It seemed like a very cute situation. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed kind of creating for this family I made up in my head. Am I ever going to make them in cast? Probably not, but if you want to, definitely feel free to. Yeah, I imagine, I don't know, like there's no really troubles to their gameplay or anything like that, but I imagined they were the first ones to move into this newly developed space. Maybe, I don't know why they'd be the first ones to like fully move in and unpack and all that sort of stuff. Maybe the other houses are still being prepared. I mean, technically there's no rooms at all. Like there's nothing in those other places, in those other townhouses. There's no walls, there's no floors, there's no rooms, there's no kitchens, no bathrooms. So maybe they're still like working and renovating on them, which would not be great for having a newborn, and would not be great for if you worked from home. So maybe that can be the issues with I don't know how you would do that in gameplay. Maybe just like if you did have actually, can you do that? I was gonna say you could make the neighbours like the noisy neighbours or the lively neighbours or whatever it is, but can you do that with the for rent I don't even know what it's called, the lot type, the residential rental? I don't know if you can, but maybe if you can, I don't know. But I'm just imagining, yeah, it is like there's nobody moved in yet, so they're actually like having a really nice time. It's all nice and quiet here. Nobody's moved in yet, and when the people do move in, then yeah, there'll start to be noisiness out and about. So yeah, if you are interested in that sort of gameplay, definitely let me know how it goes if you do end up doing something like that. Because like I said, I don't do gameplay, I don't do cast, I've totally made it up. So yeah, if you do end up doing something like that, definitely let me know. Yeah, so definitely let me know if you do something like that. I don't know, it's definitely something, like I love hearing about gameplay and the stories and like, you know, even building. I love to hear the stories behind why the build exists, like who lives here, what's their story, what's their life story, how do they exist, like what's the good things that are happening, what are the bad things. You know, for this little family, at the moment it's nice and quiet, but what happens when the neighbours start to move in and they start to renovate the place? what if the neighbours who move in are really loud and rowdy? What if there's like a big family or like a big group of uni friends or something like that who move in next door and constantly party? So it's like, you know, things can be so many different, like you could have so many different storylines here. We could all play this build and this family, but the family could look completely different. You know, like it could be, you know, when you make the family, it could be that the couple got together quite recently, but the mother was already pregnant, and so the dad is like, you know what, I'll take care of the baby. I'll raise that baby. That's fine. Or maybe it's a young couple who's been together forever, like since, you know, they've known each other since birth, and, you know, everyone always predicted they'd get together, and they did, and they're so in love and all that sort of stuff. You know, it could be a family where maybe one of them already had kids with another person, and so they've got to figure out where to create space for that kid, because, you know, you've got to have space for that kid. There's so many different storylines that we could have in this build, and that's what I kind of love about The Sims, is we can all be given the same prompt and do so many different things with it. You know, if somebody said to me, young couple who just had a baby, one of them works from home, one of them is a stay-at-home parent, I definitely would go with the storyline I've just created in my little head and explain to you. But, you know, I could also easily think of other little storylines, you know? Like, my best friend just had a baby, like 2 months ago, I think. And, you know, I could set up that little storyline. I mean, I wouldn't take anybody I know in real life and use their storyline. I think that's a little, too personal, but, yeah, that's another storyline, there's just so many storylines that you could do. And again, that's what I love about The Sims, is we all can do 100 million, 1,000 billion different things. That's a real number, by the way. You know, like, and we all have different gameplay styles. Like, even if you look at all of the big Simmers, you know, the way that James Turner plays is different to the way Deli plays, is different to the way that Little Simsy plays, is different to the way that Dr. Gluon plays. I know Dr. Gluon isn't just a Simmer, and he does many other things, and I know same with the other guys, but my point being, those 4, like, in and of themselves, play so differently. You know, they have such different styles of building, ways of building, ways of gameplay, different ways of cast creation. Like, I know Deli can create some of the most beautiful Sims out there. James will randomize them and hope for the best. Dr. Gluon will go in and make the funkiest, fun-looking Sim out there. You know, like, we have all different ways of playing and all that sort of stuff. Even one of my roommates, Onion, when he plays, I say when he plays, the one time I forced him to play, I don't even know how we got to this, but he made a Sim who looked very similar to Shrek, and he lived in the basement of a house, and 2 townies lived above, and they fell in love, and yeah, his Sim was down in the basement, hacking into banks to get money. Like, what? How do you even come across? I didn't even know you could hack the banks. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, what? Whereas if I play, it's doing the events and trying to speed run them, because I am not a game player, I am a builder. So yeah, like, we all have different ways of playing. I mean, yeah, last time, not the event that just happened, that's still technically live, but I think the one before that, it's either the one before that or the one even further before that, I cheated my Sim skills to level 10 for everything, because I was like, just, you know, you want me to do these skills, you want me to level them up, cool, let me just level them all up so that I don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, like, do this task, cool, already done, I don't have to build the skill up to do that task. Fantastic. And I still use that Sim. That is my go-to Sim for creating anything gameplay. For doing any gameplay event sort of stuff. I did have another little go at Cass and tried to create sort of like a rags to riches series where there was a couple living in an apartment, and I tried to see if I could do it without them leaving the apartment. Like, the only time they could leave the apartment was to knock on the door of the neighbor to tell them to be quiet. And yeah, it's basically just try and get them to live. And if I could get them to afford the next empty apartment, then I would move them up. But I played for like 3 hours and then I was done. And in that 3 hours I also did Cass. So, you know, I've hit my yearly quota for Cass and gameplay. Apparently it's 3 hours. I do have a little bit left in me, but I think that's being saved for all of the events. Because there's for sure going to be more events in the future. I can tell you that now. I do kind of miss the fact that, you know, we used to have the login events. Now, I do understand that not everybody can access The Sims every day, every week, but I had a really cool idea. I mean, I say cool, but an idea that would help people. And it is, let's just say they do it for 52 weeks, right? So that's a year's worth of content. You log in once a week, you get an item. Maybe one build, one cast, right? Now, if you are somebody who's like, I can only play once a month, that's okay. It will take you however many months, 52 months, to unlock all that stuff. Because it is going to be 52 times that you log in, not constrained. Like, you know, let's say I did it once a day, right? For the entire month of August, right? If it's constrained to August, like if you miss one day, you miss that item. Too bad. Tough luck. But if I say we're doing it for, let's say 30 days, right? You just have to log in 30 times. Doesn't matter when. Doesn't have to be consecutive. Doesn't have, like, if you log in today and then tomorrow and then in a week's time you'll get item number 3. You're not going to miss out on all of the items in between. I think making it not time constrained would make people so much happier. It does mean that some people would get these items after other people, but it means nobody misses out. And I think that's really, really important, because I think everybody should have access to everything. Like I said in previous videos, if I win the lottery or become mega uber rich, I am definitely going to figure out how to get everyone every single pre-order item there ever is or was. All of it. Every single pre-order item everybody gets for free. I will pay the price for it. I'm okay with that. If I'm uber rich, it doesn't matter. I will spend my money on that just to make you all happy. They give you access to more things, and even if you don't have the pack or kit, you still get it. Everybody gets it. So even our base game friends, you get the cool pre-order item stuff. Like, there's some pre-order item stuff that I don't have because I didn't really know that there were pre-order items until I really started to get into this game. And by then it was a little bit too late. And there are people like who only recently got into this game, so it's like, how is it fair that, you know, I didn't even know about this game and now pre-order item stuff is like, it's gone, it's done, I will never see it again. So yeah, that's, hopefully I can do that. And maybe I'll do it like pack by pack or something like that if I can't afford it straight away. You know, you gotta make smart financial decisions if you want to make people happy and still be financially secure. But yeah, Sims, EA, any of you people, if you're listening, definitely let's have a chat when I get rich. If I get rich. And if someone else out there is uber mega rich and you like The Sims and you want to make people happy, I definitely recommend trying that out. Go give everyone all of the pre-order items. I don't know. No, it just seems like something people would, yeah, greatly appreciate and enjoy. I also would try and get some more, I mean, I say some more base game updates, but we've got one coming up in like a month, don't we? I think we do. I think it's August 19. Oh, it's August 19 if you live in the States. It's August 20th if you live in Australia. And if you live in between, it's somewhere in between. But yeah, I don't know, I'm very appreciative of all the base game updates we are getting, because they don't have to do that, you know? These are things that are being gifted to us, and I am very grateful for it. I would definitely be giving them more items to give away as base game items, because, yeah, the more base game items, the more our base game friends can build with. And not even that, like, some of the base game items that are somewhat new I use quite a lot. I'm not sure if the John is a new toilet, but let me tell you, I use that toilet all the time, and this might sound weird, but it gives me the vibes of the, you know, the new columns and the new windows and the new kitchen set that came out. It gives me the same vibes as that. It looks like all of that should be in a set. I have no idea if that is a new toilet, but if it is, it's my favorite toilet. And what else? Oh yeah, the new kitchen and the new columns, I do definitely love them. I think it would be really, really, really nice if we could get like a thick and a thin plain column, kind of like the one from, is it Get Together, maybe? I don't know, I use that column a lot. But if we could have a base game version, I think a lot of base game friendos would be greatly appreciative of that. I mean, I would as well, because sometimes I want to do pack restricted builds and I want to use that column and I can't, because it's not the pack that I'm using for my pack restricted build. I don't know, I feel like just a few more very, I don't want to say generic things, but generic things, you know, things you can kind of use anywhere. I'm talking, yeah, like the very simple plain columns, maybe some different simple plain wallpapers. Like, don't get me wrong, the ones we have are cool and I do like them. But just, yeah, a few more doodads and stuff like that. But anyway, we are pretty much at the end here, so I just want to say thank you so much for listening to me blabber on, and if you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe. I do come out with a new video pretty much every single day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.